everyone! Welcome back to our English lesson. Today, we're starting with something super important. Those are nouns. Now, what exactly is a noun? A noun is simply a naming word. It gives a name to a person, an animal, a place, a thing, or even a feeling. Let's make it easy to remember. If you can see it, touch it, visit it, or feel it in your heart, you can name it. And that name is a noun. For example, a person, like teacher, friend, or doctor. An animal, like dog, cat, or elephant. A place, like school, park, or Sri Lanka. A thing, like book, chair, or phone. A feeling, like love, happiness, or anger. See, nouns are everywhere around us. They make our sentences clear, meaningful, and colorful. Now that we know what nouns are, let's look at the different types of nouns. There are 30 types in total, divided into 5 main categories. The first category is based on meaning. The second category is based on form. Next, we have nouns based on countability. The fourth category is based on function. And lastly, we have nouns based on special or linguistic use. First up, based on meaning. This category tells us what the noun refers to. We have proper nouns, common nouns, concrete nouns, abstract nouns, and collective nouns, like make, teacher, apple, love, and team. Next, based on form. Here, we look at how nouns are built or structured. We have compound nouns like bus stop, possessive nouns like girl's book, and concrete and countable nouns like water. Third, based on countability. This shows whether a noun can be counted or not. We have countable nouns like book and car, and uncountable nouns like water and rice. Nouns can be grouped by their function. This means how they work in a sentence. A noun can be the subject, the object, or even describe another noun. And finally, there are nouns based on special or unique use. These are special kinds of nouns that show interesting meanings, like a proper noun used for an idea or a group. So, altogether, these categories help us understand nouns clearly, how they show meaning, how they are built, how they can be counted, how they work in sentences, and how they can be used in special ways. That's all 30 types of nouns. But don't worry, we won't explore all 30 today. That would take a long time. In this lesson, we'll focus on the 10 most commonly used nouns among these 30 types. The ones you'll see and use every day in English. Once you understand these 10, the rest will be super easy to learn later on. So, are you ready? Let's begin with the 10 most commonly used nouns and discover the most useful types together. So now, let's continue and explore the 10 main types of nouns that we use most often in English. We'll look at each one clearly, what it means, and how we can recognize it. First, let's start with proper nouns. These are the special names we give to people, places, or things. They always begin with a capital letter because they are unique. For example, make, Holland, and June. Whenever you name something specific, you're using a proper noun. Now moving to common nouns. These are the general names for people, places, or things. They don't name one particular person or place. For example, teacher, city, book, or school. We use them every day without even noticing. Next, let's talk about concrete nouns. These are the nouns we can see, touch, hear, smell, or taste. They are things we can experience with our five senses. For example, apple, flower, dog, perfume, or music. If you can sense it, it's a concrete noun. Now comes abstract nouns. These are the opposite of concrete nouns. They are names of feelings, ideas, or qualities that we can't see or touch, but we can feel or imagine them. For example, love, honesty, freedom, and happiness. Abstract nouns live in our hearts and minds. Let's move on to collective nouns. These nouns talk about groups, people, animals, or things together as one. Even though there are many members, we treat the group as a single unit. For example, a team, a family, a class, or a flock. One word, but it stands for many. Now, let's look at countable nouns. These are things we can count one by one. They have singular and plural forms, like one apple to apples. We can use numbers or words like many and few with them. So, if you can count it, it's a countable noun. Next, uncountable nouns. These are things we cannot count separately. They don't usually have a plural form. For example, water, rice, sugar, air, or information. We use words like some, much, or a little, not numbers. So remember, you can say some water, but not to waters. Now, let's talk about compound nouns. Sometimes, two or more words come together to form one new idea. That's a compound noun. It can be written as one word, with a hyphen, or as two separate words. For example, toothpaste, mother-in-law, or dining room. Two words, one meaning. Next, possessive nouns. These nouns show ownership or belonging. We usually add s or s to show that something belongs to someone. For example, Mick's bag, the dog's tail, or the student's classroom. If you can ask whose, the answer will give you a possessive noun. And finally, gender-specific nouns. These show whether a person or animal is male or female. For example, king and queen, actor and actress, lion and lioness. Some nouns today, like teacher or doctor, are gender neutral. We can use them for both males and females. And that's our list of the 10 most common and important types of nouns. Each one helps us name and understand the world around us in its own special way. Now that you know what they are, it'll be much easier to spot them in your reading, in your writing, and even in your daily conversations. All right, my dear learners, let's take a quick moment to summarize what we learned today. We began by defining what a noun is, a word that names a person, place, thing, or idea. Then we learned that nouns can be divided into 5 main categories, and from them, we explored the 10 most common and important types we use every single day. Each type plays a unique role in helping us describe, organize, and express the world around us. So next time you read a story or speak a sentence, ask yourself, which type of noun am I using right now? It's a fun and smart way to strengthen your grammar day by day. And that brings us to the end of today's lesson. So if you enjoyed learning with me today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we're just getting started on this exciting grammar journey together. See you in the next class. Bye for now.